Magandang araw sa inyo mga kaibigan, ngayon ay nandito na naman po tayo sa isang pinakabagong episode ng RCJ4 Educational Blog, at ngayon ay pag-uusapan naman natin ang tungkol sa pinagmulan ng parol, at ang mga naging developments nito. Pero bago tayo mag-umpisa, ay iniimbitahan na din muna kita na mag-follow, like at share sa ating Facebook page na RCJ4, at mag-subscribe ka na din sa ating YouTube channel na RCJ4 TV upang ma-notify kita sa tuwing may mga bago akong uploads. So hindi na natin ito patatagalin pa, at umpisahan na natin.
Okay, let's start!
Let's first define the word parole. Parole refers to the conditional release of a convicted person from the correction institution. It consists of the suspension of the convicted person after serving the minimum of his sentence under the indeterminate sentence. Ang parole, mga kaibigan, ay isang program para sa mga bilanggo na under ng indeterminate sentence. Kapag sinabi nating indeterminate sentence, mga kaibigan, ito yung mga sentence na may 3 degree, na tinatawag nating minimum, medium at maximum. At take note, hindi mo pwedeng i-apply ang indeterminate sentence sa mga capital penalty. Pero bakit? Dahil ang mga capital penalty ay hindi po divisible. Ang salitang parole, mga kaibigan, ay hango sa salitang French na parole d'honneur, na may kahulugan sa salitang Ingles na word of honor. Pero saan nga ba nagumpisa ang parole? Mga kaibigan, maraming pinagmulan ang parole at may iba't iba silang history sa bawat bansa, but in the part of this, ang bansang Europe ang isa sa pinagsimulan nito. In 18th century, in the Thames River was occupied by the prison ship called Hawk. Ang Hawk, mga kaibigan, ay isang abandonadong pandigmang barko, na ginawang kulungan, at noong 17th century, ito ay tinawag na floating hell. At noong 1837, ang pinakaunang batas tungkol sa parole, ay naipasa sa Massachusetts. At the same time, Captain Alexander Maconochie was in charge in the English penal colony, whereby a prisoner was given a ticket of leave. Pero ano ang ticket of leave? A ticket of leave was a document of parole issued to convicts who had shown they could now be trusted with some freedoms. Ticket of leave is the equivalent of parole after the earning a certain required of marks. In 1856, parole was also featured in Irish prison system based on the indeterminate sentence and the mark system. Even that the Elmira Reformatory has a limited form of indeterminate sentence and a method of marks similar to the Irish system and parole based on marks. The principal defect of early parole system was the manner of determining eligibility of parole. The system of parole is said to be based off the principle of the word of honor. Sino ang kauna-unahang tao ang gumamit ng salitang parole? Si Dr. S.G. Howe of Boston was the first man used the word parole. He used the word in the letter in Prison Association of New York year 1869, after some prison reform who observed that the Irish prison system paved the way for the approval of the law, creating the Elmira Reformatory. In 1876, Elmira Reformatory managed by New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. Elmira Correctional Facility, also known as the Hill, is a maximum security state prison located in Chemung County, New York, in the city of Elmira. It is the forerunner of the modern penology, establish a link between community-based program and the penal institution. In 1877, Elmira was opened in New York, with Zebulon Reed Brockway as the superintendent. Using the indeterminate sentence compulsory develops parole, which soon to spread to the other states in USA. Zebulon Reed Brockway is considered as the father of prison reform in US. However, in England, Alexander Maconochie was the superintendent of Norfolk Island Penal Colony in Australia, who was introduced the mark system, or sometimes called the progressive human system, for the substitute for corporal punishment. When we talk about corporal punishment or physical punishment is a punishment intended to cause physical pain to a person. Ginawa ang mark system upang ma-replace ang mga hindi makataong pagpaparusa sa mga bilanggo. At noong 1870, the American Correctional Association, formerly known as the National Prison. It was organized and adopting Declaration of Principles, later revised in Prison Congress of 1933. Next is si Sir Walter Crofton at ang kanyang Irish system, na kung minsan ay tinatawag ding progressive stage system. Sinasabing medyo may pagkakahawig ang Mark system at ang Irish system, at ito ay ang pagdidisiplina sa mga bilanggo, sa paraang mababago nila ang kanilang sarili upang maging mabuting tao. In 1872, the first International Prison Congress was held in London by creating International Penal and Penitentiary Commission, an international government organization, established in 1875, and was dissolved and its function when transferred to the Social Defense Section of the United Nations. At matapos nun ay matagal-tagal ulit bago nasundan ang development ng correctional institution. In year 1897, si Sir Evelyn Ruggles Bryce ay naging director ng English prison, after visiting Elmira Reformatory. At matapos nun ay binuksan ang Borstal Institution, na noon ay itinuturing na isa sa pinaka-the best na institusyon para sa mga batang offender. Pero bakit naging pinaka-the best ang Borstal Institution kaysa sa Elmira Reformatory? Yun ay dahil nabigo ang Elmira Reformatory sa pag-practice ng kanilang mga educational program noong year 1910. Pero paano ito nagsimula? By 1865, elements of the original penitentiary design based on regimentation, isolation, religious conversion and steady labor, had been subverted by pervasive overcrowding, corruption, and cruelty. Despite prison deficiencies and appeals of several prison reformers, most prisons were overcrowded and few observers were ready to abandon the existing system of incarceration. The Elmira Reformatory in New York represented an exception in that the focus was on rehabilitation and education. Nonetheless, the reformatory movement of the 1870s did not halt the deterioration of American prisons. At the beginning of the 1900s, psychiatric interpretations of social deviance began to assume a central role in criminology. Other progressive criminologists proposed the social learning model as a way of justifying broad discretion in sentencing practices and sought alternatives to imprisonment. Liabilities and assets of the prison reform movement are evaluated, the emergence of the federal prison system is considered, and prison system developments after World War II are noted that concern rehabilitation and prisoner rights. References and photographs. Noong 1865, ang mga elemento ng orihinal na disenyo ng penitentiary batay sa regimentation, isolation, religious conversation, and steady labor ay nawasak dahil sa laganap na sobrang dami ng tao, katiwalian, at kalupitan. Sa kabila ng mga kakulangan sa bilangguan at pag-apela ng maraming mga reformador ng bilangguan, karamihan sa mga bilangguan ay masikip at kakaunti ang mga nagmamasid na handang talikuran ang mayroon ng sistema ng pagkakakulong. Ang Elmira Reformatory sa New York ay kumakatawan sa isang pagbubukod na ang focus ay sa rehabilitasyon at edukasyon. Gayunpaman, ang kilusang reformatoryo noong 1870s ay hindi huminto sa pagkasira ng mga kulungan ng Amerika. Sa simula ng dekada ng 1900, ang mga pagbibigay kahulugan ng psychiatrist ng paglihis sa lipunan ay nagsimulang ipalagay ang isang pangunahing papel sa mga criminologists. Ang iba pang mga progresibong criminologist ay iminungkahi ang modelo ng pagkatuto sa lipunan bilang isang paraan ng pagbibigay katwiran sa malawak na paghuhusga sa mga kasanayan sa paghuhukom at humingi ng mga kahalili. Ang mga pananagutan at pag-aari ng kilusang reforma sa bilangguan ay sinusuri, ang paglitaw ng sistemang federal na bilangguan ay isinasaalang-alang, at ang mga pagpapaunlad ng sistema ng bilangguan pagkatapos ng World War II ay nabanggit na ito ay tumutugon sa rehabilitasyon at mga karapatan ng bilanggo. Ngunit noong 1930, muling binuhay ang Elmira Reformatory, kasabay nito, ay ang ilang mga pagbabago tungkol sa pagbibigay ng edukasyon. So aside from that mga kaibigan, marami pang mga detalye ang hindi ko binanggit sa topic na ito, pero kung meron ka pang ilang mga impormasyon tungkol dito, ay maaari mo itong i-comment sa baba para sa mga additional details. So dito na muna matatapos ang usapan natin, at maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga nakinig. Kaibigan, nagustuhan mo ba ang topic na ito? Sana ay mayroon kang natutunan ngayong araw. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na ito, ay maraming salamat sa'yo. Kung gusto mo pa ng mga videos na kagaya nito ay mag-follow, like at share ka lang sa @RCJ4 Educational Blog upang patuloy kitang ma-notify sa aking mga future uploads. Hanggang dito na lang kaibigan at mag-iingat ka palagi. At maraming salamat ulit sa inyong lahat. God bless at hanggang sa muli.